Hi guys, what we're gonna discuss today is it's very simple thing. We want to know what is the difference between element present and element displayed. Okay, element displayed is also called as element visible. Both are the same. Element displayed or element visible, both are the same. Okay. Now you might not understand what I'm talking about in this line. Say you go to any web page, okay? You go to any web page. For example, I'm going to irctc.com. The thing to understand is, okay, thing to understand is, if I take the mouse pointer on, say more, okay, on this more thing, all these things drop down comes up, okay, all these things drop down comes up. What do you guys think? When I take the mouse pointer, whether your application, that is IRCTC application, sends a request to the server and then populates these drop down windows, or or it is already there in the DOM. Okay, it is already there in the DOM, but they are using some JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript, because all these things that you see on the browser, most of the things happens with the JavaScript. Any dynamic functionality, say for example this one is moving, okay, it is moving because of the JavaScript. Okay, anything, when you take the mouse pointer, it gives you this drop down, it's all because of the JavaScript. Okay, and in 99% of the time, 99% of the time, if you take mouse pointer, say that there is something, when you take the mouse pointer, it gives you this kind of a drop down. 99% of the time, they would have handled it in, why just 99.99% of the time they would have handled it in using JavaScript. What JavaScript does is, there will be a code written in the when you take the mouse pointer on this, what do you call this, more, it gives you this drop down. Okay, but in all probability, it will not be like when you take the mouse pointer, it sends a request to the server, and server sees where you have taken the mouse pointer. Okay, since you have taken the mouse pointer on more, it will give you a response with all these options. Okay, it doesn't happen like that. When your page loads, okay, all these options, or if you take the mouse pointer on tourism, all these options will also gets loaded, but it will be in the hidden thing. Okay, if you want to check what is that IRCTC, I'll say travel insurance. Okay, let's see whether it's really there in the DOM or not. Okay, let me try to use Firefox. Okay, Firefox, and oh sorry, Firefox, yes, just a minute guys, just waiting for the Firefox to respond. Okay, going to irctc.com, let's check whether all these options are already there in the thing. Okay, I'm just loading this page, and what is that option? It says travel insurance. Okay, I'm just loading this page. Okay, and if I say, if I click on this Firebug, what was that option? Sorry, travel insurance. Okay, I'll load this page, and in the HTML section I will say Control F here, and I will say travel insurance. Okay, see, travel insurance is already there. Not just travel insurance, everything is there, guys. Okay, even this user guide, even this what do you call this, something called as handicrafts committee report. Okay, see, user guide, handicraft committee report. Okay, and I mean support SHG handicraft, all these things are there, guys. Okay, all these things are there, but it is there in the browser. When the page loads, it's there. But what you need to understand here is those things will not be visible. Okay, it's there in the browser, it will not be visible unless you take the mouse pointer. Okay, so right now I don't have the mouse pointer on the more, so all these elements, travel insurance, see, when I take mouse pointer it is showing something here. See, you will see here something. When I take mouse pointer, it is showing something. Take mouse pointer, it's on the user guide, it shows something. So thing to understand is all these elements are there in your browser, in your page, sorry, to be precise, in this page. But these things are not visible. These things are not visible. These are hidden things. Okay, hidden things. It will be in the visible only when you take the mouse pointer, it will be visible. Okay, and using actions class we handle this. Okay, to take the mouse pointer. Okay, so this is one of the example. One more example is I can tell you, see, if you click on this IRCTC zone, see, it gives you all these options: RTI information, Jago Yatri, Jago, all these things. Okay, so this thing also handled using JavaScript. That's the reason it's so fast. Okay, it is, if you say, if I search for this RTI information, okay, even though now I'm just loading the page. Okay, first let me search on the page if there is anything called as ITI. If I search on the page, sorry, Control F, RTI. I'm RTI. I'm typing at the bottom left hand corner. Okay, RTI. It says match, but where is that match? But there is nothing called as RTI. Might be something else. RT. Okay, it gives you RTI. Okay, there might be some other text which says RTI, but if you search for RTI information, it says phrase not found. Okay, it is not visible on the page, but it will be visible when you click on this IRCTC zone, and it is so fast. Okay, because it is there. Okay, it is there, but it is not visible. Okay, and when you click on this, it will get visible, guys. Okay, it will be visible. So this RTI information, Jago Yatri, and all these links, what you see down at the bottom here, these are also similar examples. Okay, when you load this page, okay, these elements are present but not visible. These elements are present, but these elements are not visible, guys. It will be visible only when you click on this. Okay, only when you click on this. So RTI information, Jago Yatri, Jago, these are the examples of elements which are present in the DOM but not visible unless you click on this. Once you click on this, this will be visible. I'm talking of the point wherein I'm not clicking. The same way, all these options will be visible when I take the mouse pointer on this more. But before that, no, it's not visible. That's what I'm saying. So let me take the XPath of something here. Okay, I'll say I'll try to get the XPath of Rajdhani menu. Okay, Rajdhani menu. So what is the XPath? Let's see. XPath is this. Ahref is equal to this one. XPaths are very, very important, guys. Okay, so I'll write the XPath. /a at the rate href is equal to this one. See, it is giving me exact thing. But even if you minimize it, and now if I search again, for example, if I search again, it still gives you, but now it is element is present, but it is not visible. Okay, so I will go with this particular thing, this particular XPath. Okay, and what I will do, I will go to this page. Okay, and when I go to this page, I will not be clicking on this one. I will not be clicking on this IRCTC zone. Okay, I will not click. Okay, let it be in invisible mode. Let all these things, links, for example, I'm trying to search for the Rajdhani menu. Let it be in invisible mode. Okay, so here is what it happens. Okay, you have to understand this. You should say driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, and you give that XPath. You give this XPath here. I gave this XPath, and I'll be getting what is the return type of the find element method. Return type of the find element method is web element. Web element is an interface. I'll say WE. Okay. So what's the problem here? Oh, it's not web driver. Sorry, web element. I said right. Okay, web element. I got this web element. Okay. Now let's not do anything. Let me say end of the program. End of the program. Okay. If I execute this, let's see what happens. If I run this program, okay, let me see end of the program. Yeah, it printed end of the program. That means that it printed end of the program. That means that it had executed this line. Line number 13 it has executed also. And in the line number 13, what you're doing, guys, you're trying to find an element corresponding to this XPath, correct? And what happens when you're trying to search an element which is not there on the page? You guys remember? Say, I'm trying to get an element like this, Vishal, India. Okay, there will not be any element which has href as this one HTML Vishal India. So what will gonna happen? Now you're gonna get, any guess? Yeah, see, element not, no such element exception or element not found exception. Element not found exception. See, this is what you need to understand. If the element is not there on the page, you will get element not found exception. Element is not at all there. Any element corresponding with this particular XPath is not there. So you will get element not found exception, or no such found, no such element found exception. But if the element is present, you will not get. Okay, so let me just make a difference here. just a minute. So if the element is not present on the in the DOM, or not present on the in the page, you will get element not found exception. Okay, but if the element is hidden, okay, it is not visible but it is present, okay, then you will not get element not found exception. Okay, say one is, just a minute. This is the question I got, by the way, guys. Okay, sorry. The question is, what is the difference among element present, element displayed, and element visible? Okay, so I want to tell you, element displayed and element visible, it's one and the same. Okay, there is no difference, but the difference is between element present and this. Okay, these are the two topics. Okay, so I will make here, one is element present, element 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 not present. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, which is not included in this particular question. Element not present, element present. The third category is element present but not visible, or not displayed. Okay, not visible, not displayed, both are same, guys. Okay, so these are the three categories you can think of. Okay, these are the three categories of elements. Okay, there are other categories as well, but you know, so if you say, if you do driver dot find element, okay, and that element is not present, you will get element not present exception. Okay, or basically you will get an exception. Okay, no such element found exception, or element not present exception, some exception you will get. Okay, this is the first thing. If you do driver dot find element on something which is not present, if you do driver dot find element, sorry, driver dot find element on an element which is present. Okay, so this particular thing, Rajdhani menu or RTI, in if this is not enlarged, okay, even in that case it is present. Okay, no exception will be thrown. Okay, no exception. Okay, if element present, and element present but not visible. Okay, the same element, if at all it is present, all these elements are present, but it's not visible, and no exception will be thrown here also. Okay, there will not be any exception. So second thing is, you do a click event. Okay, you do a click event on an element which is not present. First of all, you cannot find the element, so there is no question of clicking when there is no element. Okay, so you will get the exception while trying to get the element itself, so there is no question of clicking. Okay, but what happens when the element is present? Okay, element present, I'll say here element present and visible. Okay, example for element present and visible is, For example, you are trying to click on lucky draw, or you are trying to click on this home icon. The element is present and you can see its visibility. Okay, here you will not gonna get any exception, no exception. But if you are trying to click on something which is hidden, for example, all these things are hidden unless you click on IRCTC zone. Okay, what will gonna happen is here you will get exception. Okay, exception. Here you're going to get the exception. So you can think of these things as in these three categories, mainly these three categories. One is element not present. There is no question. If the element is not present, you cannot do the driver dot find element. So you will get the element not present exception, or element not found exception, or sometimes like so different kinds of exception you will get. Okay, definitely if there is an element is not there, so you cannot get it. So I'm just marking it as yellow. Okay, so that is done. So when the element is not present, there is no question of click. So there is no question of click. So element not present is completely ruled out from the scenario. What if element is present and visible? The example is, say you're trying to click on login button. Here, login button. It is present and it is directly visible. So you will not get any exception when you try to do driver.find element. It is perfectly fine. You will not get any exception when you do a click also. This is also fine. Now, the third category is element is there but it is hidden currently. So let's take an example of RTI information. Okay, RTI information, or else let's take an example of Maharaja Express. These elements are present but they are hidden in this. Now if you don't click on IRCTC zone, those things will be hidden. What happens when something is hidden and you try to do driver.find element? You will not get any exception. You will not get any exception. Everything will be fine. You will not get any exception. But if you try to click on it, then you will get some exception. You will get some exception. So we have already seen this Rajdhani Express. It did not give us exception and it printed this end of the program. But let me write like this: we.click, and now see what happens. Okay, line number 14 will gonna give you an exception because element is definitely there in the DOM. Okay, but going forward I might not use page. Okay, it's actually we have to say DOM. Okay, don't worry what is DOM and all. Okay, yeah, fine. So I'm expecting, see, it says element not visible exception. It is giving you this exception saying that element not visible. So it is saying element is currently not visible. So it's really more informative. Okay, it is saying element is currently not visible and so may not be interacted with, may not be clicked, or you cannot do any interaction with that element because it's not visible. Currently not visible. In future it might be visible. In a sense, I mean, you might click on this one before clicking on this particular, trying to find out any element. You might click on this and then you try to find out element, then there is no problem because that time element will be visible. So here again the exception will be thrown, guys. Okay, exception will be thrown. These are the three different states of element: not present, present and visible, present and not visible. Okay, you'll get this exception. Okay, that is the thing. And this is it. This is the difference. Okay, now sometimes someone might ask you, okay, someone might ask you, you will try to get an element. Okay, try to get an element but you click on it only if it is visible. You click on this thing only if it is visible. So how to check whether if it is visible or not? There is a method in Selenium. Okay, you can say we dot is displayed. Okay, and it will give you a boolean is, is element present, just a variable I'm trying to create. If the element is displayed, then it will give you true, otherwise it will give you false. Okay, so you can do it like this. If is element present, that is if it is true, then only click, otherwise don't click. Okay, so there is a method to check whether the element is visible or displayed or not, visible or displayed or not. Okay, and this is that method. Now it will not go inside, it will not execute line number 16 because is element present will give you false. Okay, I'll just print that one as well. Okay, is element present will gonna give you false. See, it is giving you false. But if you give, instead of this XPath, you give the XPath of some button which is visible. For example, you give the XPath of home button. You give the XPath of home button, ahref equals to this one. This is the XPath of home button. And now you run this, it will go it will give you true here because home button is visible. I'm running out of battery, just a minute guys. So it clicked on the home button. Okay, see, it is giving you true. That's because home button is visible. Okay, else one more thing is, just a minute. Okay, you're trying to get this element. Okay, before getting this element, you try to click on how can you make this element visible. Say, how can you make this, not this, how can you make this element visible? Say I'm trying to click on Rajdhani menu here. How can you make this element visible? You can probably click on this IRCTC zone, correct? Let's try to click on this IRCTC zone. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to click. Yeah, seems like we'll be able to click. Let's see. Okay, div class equals to this one. It says /div @class is equal to, oh, there are a lot of such elements. Yes, okay, so I have to get the third element, right? So I'll go with the indexing. I hope all of you know what is indexing. And no, still it is not exactly giving me what it is, what I want to do here. Just a minute. See, it is inside a td class equals to Let me do this. It is inside a td and class equals to so and so. It's inside a td. Okay, let me try to get the td and the class is so and so, and there are many tds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My ours is 6. IRCTC zone is a 6 one. Okay, so I will try to get the 6th. I hope all of you know the indexing. Okay, and right now no one is attending this class. This is just a recording, guys. Okay, yeah, seems like this is the correct X path. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I will try to click on that element before trying to find that Rajdhani thing. I will try to click on this so that it will be visible. Okay, so I will say driver dot find element by dot XPath, and I will give this XPath here, and I will do inline click. Okay, I don't want to store it in a web element then click. No, I don't want to do that, so I am doing inline click. Okay, so without click, okay, I will show you without click what happens, and then I will show you what happens with click. Means by clicking this, what will gonna happen, and if you don't click on this IRCTC zone, what will gonna happen. If I am clicking on this, then whatever element that we are finding on line number 14, it will be visible, and you will be able to see is element present will be true. Okay, that's what I'm expecting, and let's see if it doesn't work it in that way, then we will see. Okay, there might be some errors in what we have written or something. We'll see, don't worry. Yeah, it worked, guys. Okay, now see, I'm trying to find out the same element. Now it is giving me true. Now it is giving me true. That's because I'm before finding this element we, I'm clicking on that this IRCTC zone and making that element visible. That is the reason it gave me true. But if I comment this clicking and run this thing again, now the same element will give you false, and that is all about an element which is present but is not not displayed. If it is present and displayed, then we don't have any problem. Okay, see, it is false. Now again I'm uncomment, sorry, if I uncomment this line number 13, then I'll be making that element visible by clicking on that thing. By clicking on what? By clicking on this IRCTC zone. Okay, now it should give me true. See, it is giving you true and end of the program. Okay, so that is all about element which is visible, not present. Okay, all those things, guys. Okay, that's it. I'll remove this. I'll show you one more thing here. Okay, I mean everything in one program instead of we first time. Okay, I'll show you just a 1 minute. Just a minute, guys. First time I'm trying to get that element will not be present. Okay, and is element present will give you false, and you are trying to print it. Second time you are trying to click on this IRCTC zone. By clicking on this, you will make this thing visible. and you're maybe you're trying to reuse the same variable. Okay, I don't want to create multiple variables. Okay, second time again you are doing driver.find element for the same thing. Okay, what you see on line number 14, this one, and line number 20, it's same. Okay, same element we are trying to search, but now line number 20 we are searching after making it visible. Okay, now it will give you true, and second time it will give you, that's what, in when you on line output of line number 16 will be false, output of line number 22 will be true. And I hope you guys are able to understand that. Okay, and if there is any doubt, get back to me guys. Okay, and that's it about this question which was asked by one of my student. Okay, there is nothing much in this. I mean, you will come across these problems. Okay, it should be like you practice something, and you should get some kind of, I mean, if at all you have really practiced, you would have got these errors sometimes, element not found, not present, exception and all, at least once. Then you should think actually. Okay, that is how it works. See, it is opened, it is going into irctc, searching for that element, irctc zone, it clicked on. Let me go to my Eclipse. See, first time it was false because first time you are directly clicking without making it visible, but the next time on line number 19 you are making it visible, and then you are trying to search again. Now next time it will be is present, it will be true. Okay, that's it for today guys. Okay, thanks a lot, and I'll upload these recordings. Thank you. Bye bye. And get back to me guys if you have any doubt on this. Okay, I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Bye bye.